What's going on? Shades coming at you. Well, this feels like it's gonna be a kind of big story of our season. Holy cow, I'm 20 seconds in and I've said nothing. It's another game where we, played pretty well defensively, stood pretty strong. We had slightly more possession, but it was another one where we got caught off once. We weren't clinical, and we paid for it. Colorado basically had one actual opportunity. They took advantage of it, and that's what did it. And the first half, once we got into it, especially Hamas was trying to move the ball around. Oh, his one shot looked so good and just pinged. Couldn't believe it. And then we had a couple other wasted opportunities. Because what was it? 11-5 in shots, but we each had 2 on target. So that's a thing. Oh, that's right. Yeah, one of those shots on target was it Hamas who crossed it into Diaz, who he can't buy a goal this season. And I'm not gonna, and Colorado's goal, I'm not gonna pin on one defender. It annoys me so much at a professional level when they do this that they think it's gonna be off. It's like, you have the VAR. If they're not blowing that whistle, get your butt back on defense. Defend the box. That's the reason we gave up the goal. They got a little bit of a run in behind. There was 2-3 guys who thought it was going to get called. It wasn't, because there was one who was playing deep. He was the closest one to try to defend. He couldn't get over. And it cost us. And that's what it was. I mean, Colorado had their stints of possession where we weren't really able to get the ball out of our own half. But once again, our lack of being clinical costs us once more. Hamas and Pereira were moving the ball pretty well. Midfield, we were playing pretty decent. This is the only time I'm going to say this in this video. Yeah, that was some confusing officiating. The only reason I'm even mentioning it, aside from Duggan's yellow card, what was that, 40-something seconds in? And let's be honest, this will be one of the few times you hear me comment on a call. That was barely a foul, and he gets a card for it. Even the commentators were confused by the officiating, saying it's what are these players supposed to do? It's some harder challenges that he was letting go, and then just kind of touch falls. All right, I'm done with that. Good to see Boxall back, get some time in. I'll be honest, I thought Duggan might get pulled just because of his card, but because he did have a couple times he was starting to lose his head a little, where he might have gotten a little lucky. But I mean, he's a pretty smart player overall, and this is the second time that he's gotten a really early card, and he's been able to make it through the rest of the game. So congrats to him. Who was it that? Yeah, we had at least one or two players that got really lucky not to get second yellows. Because I'm trying to remember who it was on a yellow, and they almost... Okay, I know I said I wasn't... So, Trapp's yellow was a little unlucky. I know Triantis tried to pull the guy back, and then... I know Trapp was going for the professional foul, But man, he barely even had a tug on it. It didn't even affect the guy's run. And then we got the ball, but Trap got called for the tactical. So, man, yes, it's the correct call. Just wow. But overall, it was our lack of being clinical why we, yeah. I forget who had the other shot on goal. Because I know, yeah, second half we got a little unlucky, mistimed, because I forget who played him in, because Pereira got played a ball, and then he squared it over to Marcanic, but unfortunately it was offside in the build-up. So, and then second half, there was just, I don't know what it was. I'll say it again, we've been struggling with high presses. Because with the high press, it's either we go long and maybe we get a ball. Sometimes we have the few times we're able to beat it in our build-up. But it's like, if we don't get that first ball out, we struggle in the midfield, and then we don't even get close to the opposition box to even try to create anything. It happened again last night. So, and you know, props to Colorado for staying aggressive throughout that game, because I understand it's, especially when you're on the road, you know the opposition fans are going to be going in a tight game like that, and they stayed aggressive. We struggled a bit with it. Towards the end, there was a stretch we couldn't even get the ball out of our own half. That cost us. It felt like there was a lack of creativity after a certain point. And best of luck to James Rodriguez. I want to find it because I forget how many he had quite a few key passes and created chances. So it sounds like he was like very professional during training and different things like that. It was a little unfortunate with how things played out, but he put in a shift the games that he did play. So, I mean, thanks for your time, even though it was short. Outside of that, we need to be consistent. So, it's the lack of consistency and lack of creativity. Yaboa, I understand you were trying to save the ball a lot. We need to get him in the box. It was happening again. We had like no presence in their box, and yeah, so we got to figure something out for that. We got the two guys to set up. We just need to get players who can get in there on the end of crosses and stuff. Anyway, I got to double check if is it Saturday or Sunday that they play next, or I got to double check for sure the next day. Till then, stay safe, everyone. Take care. We got to figure out something to get some consistency. Shade signing out.